evening. Hand for today is ace 10 off. So we have several limpers, and then he gets to me on the button. So these limpers, this guy's pretty tight, playing 19-8. When we look at his stats, his pre-flop limps, his VPIP in early positions 15. His pre-flop raise or raise first in is 8%, so probably limping about 7%. That's probably pocket pairs, maybe some suited connectors, possibly. This guy's also playing somewhat tight. 22-0 hasn't really raised at all. So if we look at his limp with previous limpers, it's basically, he's consistent, at least early position. Mid position is 25%. Only 23 hands with this player, but he is playing 43% of the hands. Again, doesn't look overly aggressive. And now it's on us. So here's a good spot. We're going to have position on all the players. I do think we're going to raise. We're going to probably be targeting larger size. So, typically with the one limper, that'd be 4 or 5 and then 6 big blinds. But here, with the looseness of this player, and when we look at the players behind us, 31% VPIP, 29% VPIP, 29% called 2 bets. This guy's 45% called 2 bets. I think we could probably raise a little bit larger, because what we don't want is a big blind to come along and then each of these guys comes along. So I think we should probably start at about 6 big blinds and probably go up to maybe 8 big blinds and really make it painful for them to call. If they all fold, who cares? This is 4.5 big blinds that we're picking up. We don't even need a big hand to do so. So what I'm going to do is say that this is my range. I raise to 6, which I think is a little small. And then villain 2 calls. And when villain 2 calls, he's playing 31-10. He's in the big blind, and his pre-flop called big blind is 33%. He didn't raise, didn't 3-bet, and it's possible that he didn't 3-bet, or that he would 3-bet with, let's say, kings plus ace king, since a lot of people do that. I think this is a good opportunity. He's probably thinking if he calls, he's going to get quite a few people to call as well. I'm not going to think he has many of these offsuit cards, maybe ace queen, king queen, queen jack's iffy. But I do think he's probably calling some of these suited connectors here, hoping to flop big, maybe these suited one gappers, hoping to flop big, maybe the king tens. The suited kings are a possibility as well, but I think this is probably close to a calling range. This guy folds consistent if he's just playing some smaller pocket pairs. Villain 6 calls and villain 7 folds. So he's 22 VPIP over 91 hands. What do I think his range is? So now he limped and then he called a raise. So he could have raised himself. And I think that kind of narrows some of the hands down. So we're going to say these suited aces, maybe ace 10, possibly ace jack, depends on the player. We're going to say these suiteds is what he's playing with, and a player like this is probably also playing some of these offsuit broadways as well, maybe an offsuit connector, just at 31%. So I think those are going to be the raises. We just have to remember who's who here. So we take a flop of jack 10 and 3 diamonds. So what we're going to do is get our pre-flop range here. That was, oops, let's clear that. And let's do this again, so we can get a good estimate. So we're dealing with 31.2%, 414 combos. We get jack 10, 3. So jack of clubs, 10 of spades, 3 of diamonds. this could potentially hit everyone, including me. There is no flush draw, but I think it's a board that you're going to get players calling. So here, villain 2 checks and villain 6 checks. And I'm thinking they're going to probably check their entire ranges. So now it's on us. What do we bet? I think we're going to be more heavier in a value range. I don't think we're going to be betting these middle pairs, these pocket pair below second cards, bottom pair. I think there's too many cards that are going to be calling to bet these for any sort of value. I think we can bet with a gut shot and open ended straight draw. Thinking that with the gut shots, we have room to improve, especially if we've got, let's say, king queen, or let's say our ace king, queen comes. I think we're going to get some paid off. Or if we have maybe not all of our gut shots, so like 7-8, I think is kind of a weak gut shot. So let's take those out. 9-7 I think is okay. King 9's okay. I think those are suitable. 8-9 we can bet. Do we have overcards? No, I think with our overcards, we already have it with the king queens. I think that's just going to hit too many people, and against 2 people, I don't think it's likely that we'll be able to bet and pick up pots. So let's get our groups here so we can take a look at what our ranges are going to be. So let's change these. So you can see we're about half and half value, half bluff, and I think that's probably okay because we are going to be getting called. Now, are we going to bet all of our top pairs? Yeah, I think Jack 9, that's the weakest top pair that we're going to bet. I do think we should be betting that because we could get called by 10s, could get called, by like 10-9, queen 10, 9-8's going to call, probably 8-7. With that gut shot, that's a possibility. I don't think 3s are going to call. So I think that's going to be my betting range here. And what do I do? I actually checked. So that's kind of interesting. So let's get this. Okay, so we're going to do that. We are going to check these. And then we are going to X out that, those, and these. Okay, so we do end up checking, a bit. So that is 75.4%. That means we have, we have 282. Let's make sure that that is correct. We have 282 combos in our range, and they still have 100%. They still have 100%. So 2 spades comes, and he bets pot, and that guy folds. So he bets pot, this guy folds. Now, what is he going to bet pot with? I think he's going to bet pot because he's afraid of some of his draws. So I see top pair betting large, straight sets, 2 pair, over pair sets. I'm going to say maybe. Middle pair, probably not. I kind of think he would bet a little bit smaller. I kind of think sets are going to bet a little bit smaller too. I kind of feel like he'd bet a little bit smaller. Let's say, 40% of the time he'd bet that large, and the other 60 would be rather, pretty small. I think 2 pairs probably going to bet larger. I mean, it just kind of comes down to the player. We're going to say 2 pairs also 40%. Over pair, I think is probably the pot. Top pair is going to bet. Middle pair, maybe he bets, but probably not. And I don't think he's got these draws. So I think he is entirely value heavy in that regards. Once he bets that, then we have to think about what are we doing. So we're getting 33% for our draw. What's going to give us the 33%. Flush draw. What's our equity if we have a flush draw? 22%. So we can't call with our flush draw. What about gut shots? What if it's not all of our flush draws? What if we select it out as only our combo draws? So we'll do king 9 because that gives us a gut shot. Ace queen's a gut shot. Ace king's a gut shot. I would have bet king queen. Yeah, 9 7's a gut shot. 7 8's a gut shot. 8 6. No, none of those. Okay, so if I just do those, I'm still at 26%. Not enough. So really, I should just be folding everything here. So if I think this is their range, let's end that. So their turn range is that bet. My turn range, I should fold everything. I mean, at this point, because I missed my bets. And really because I don't have the proper odds to draw. Even let's say middle pair. I mean, maybe if I have a set. So set with that draw, 40%, but even I can't even call those. So really about the only hands that I can call is a set. I don't have two pairs. I don't have the straight. I don't have an overpair. I don't have my top pair. Middle pair is only at 6%, so we're going to be calling except 2-2. That's right. Yep. Fold everything except 2-2. And that would be, 1.09%, which is 3 combos. Well, let's continue because I did call, and I don't know why I called. Probably because I thought maybe he's taking a stab at it. I don't have a huge number of hands, but when we look at his turn pro bet, let's see here, pro bet, I don't have any information there. So ace hits, which I know connects with us, and now he bets 61 again. He bets pot, and the question is, what is he going to, I don't think he's going to bet that with top pair. I don't think he's betting that high with overpair. I think now he's betting, set and 2 pair. Probably that, just strictly the set and 2 pair. Maybe the straight, maybe he has king queen, but I don't think he would have bet that large with king queen. So we're looking at that, and I don't have anything in my hand. Would I be calling? Oops, sorry. Let's get that ace of clubs up there. Yeah, so basically sets and 2 pair, I think, is all that he's going to be betting here. Ace of clubs comes on the river, and even with the set, we're only at 18% equity here with the set of 2s because he's got 3s, 10s, and jacks. This should be an easy fold. I didn't. I called, and he shows ace jack. He shows actual 2 pair. So, when we think about top pair here, I have ace jack off. No, I didn't have ace jack off. So at this point, when we looked at what is he going to bet with his, big cards, I didn't think he'd bet that big with 2 pair or with top pair, but he could. So let's go top pair and plus, maybe the middle pair. And we eliminated it because we thought the sizing was strange. So then the ace of clubs hits. Is that right? Yeah, their turn range. So what happened here? Let's get this here. We're gonna hit that. Let's paste that. Oops. Is that it? Yeah, I did. We did say bet pot with top pair, bet pot over pair. It was a 2 pair in the sets where they might go a little bit lower. So might go at like 40%. And the 2 pair might go at 40%. But then those would be full-fledged. And again, I should have just folded, and then the ace clubs comes out. And the question is, what is he going to bet? He could have 2 pairs set, and, I had 2 pairs. But, really, let's go back and let's add my hands. Let's say I have all of them. What is my 2-pair hand? What's my equity? 11% equity with all of my 2 pairs. So you can see that his equity is much higher with those 2 pairs. He basically has Jack 10 and Ace Jack, whereas I could have, Ace 3, Ace 2, Ace 10s. So I botched this hand, should have c-bet it. He still would have called. And then I probably could have bet again on the turn, and he would have called. And then, if he leads into me on the river, I probably have to consider folding. I hate to fold 2-pair, but he calls flop, he calls a turn, and then all of a sudden he leads into you. He's trying to get paid. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this. Look tomorrow for another hand.